called AquaJax's that we're looking at this morning. They say they're determined to advance projects for the city of Jacksonville that will provide greater prosperity, growth, and revenues to benefit all citizens. The first AquaJax's project is going to be to place a world-class aquarium on the riverfront downtown in Jacksonville. Joining us this morning, Harrell and Hammond from AquaJax's, and this is an interesting idea. I think I told somebody else that maybe fish hold the key to, reviving the economy. Tell me about this idea, where it got started, and what you want to see happen here in Jacksonville.
First of all, we call ourselves River City, and yet we have had 40 acres right on the riverfront, prime real estate, downtown Jacksonville, empty for years, decades.
Talking about
the old shipyards, exactly right. And one thing that I have seen aquariums be put into cities all over the United States, hugely successful. Well, we had another issue that we looked at in our research, and that was that we just frankly don't get enough visitors and conventioners to Jacksonville.
Yeah. Florida certainly gets a lot of tourists, but you're saying Jacksonville is kind of left out compared to those other cities. Is that right?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because last year, for example, 88,500,000 people visited Florida. Only 3.2 visited Jacksonville.
Wow. Big disparity there. Yeah, big disparity there. I mentioned that I'd show this, but we've got some photos from other places that you guys had mentioned. Hey, this has worked in other cities. Baltimore, I think, is one of the places that we're talking about that they put in the aquarium. And how did it impact these cities when they put in the aquarium?
Well, when they opened the aquarium, their reasonable estimation of visitors was maybe about 600,000 people. The first year that they opened, they averaged over 1 million visitors to their facility. And as you can see, that certainly can be a tremendous impact to the revenue of a city. And they, like Jacksonville, had underutilized properties on the waterfront, and they were looking at ways to revitalize those properties, and an aquarium was the spark, and since then it has just taken off with other exhibits, IMAX theaters, museums, restaurants, shops, businesses. So it's really worked in those cities, and we feel it can work here in Jackson.
Commercial entities rising up around the aquarium.
Exactly. Exactly.
Who's on board with it? How long have you been working on this project?
Basically, the research was started in December of last year.
Okay.
It is still ongoing, I might add. But right now we have an advocacy group of about 5 key people, but we're welcoming other people who want to come in and join the whole process, because we need to get the word out. One of the issues that a lot of people have talked about is, well, there's no money in Jacksonville, there's no tax money, there's no public revenue. This has been done all over the United States with private and corporate investment. And everywhere they have put an aquarium in, it has worked, and worked well beyond their expectations.
Right. So I know one of the advocates that you just recently got, JJ, you said you wanted to share an email.
Sure.
So part of this is because there was a newspaper article a week ago that mentioned you and the AquaJax's effort, and then it sounds like you've got a fan, if you want to share that letter.
We certainly do. We received tremendous responses to our Facebook page and website, and we received an email from an 11-year-old that really touched all of our hearts, and it reads, "Hi, I'm Carl. I'm an 11-year-old 6th grade student at Mayport Middle for Coastal Sciences. I read the article in the newspaper today with your vision of building an aquarium in Jacksonville. Is there any type of opportunity for me to help with this? It's my dream to be a marine biologist, and I would love to have an aquarium here in our city. Thanks." Yeah. And that really touched us. And this project is going to be for all individuals, the young and the old. If you go and look at some of the websites and some of the other existing aquariums, they'll do overnight field trips that the kids just love, where they spend the night at the aquarium, and they get to see the inner and behind the scenes workings of the aquarium. And we feel that this is something that is sorely needed in Jacksonville and can be the spark to downtown revitalization. We talked about revitalizing downtown for years.
Lots of ideas.
Lots of ideas have flowed in, but no major idea to bring people in off of I-95. Those individuals pass Jacksonville every day going point south and north. They may stop for gas or burger, but there's nothing to really hold them here. And we feel that this project can really change the city.
George, I'm going to wrap up with you. We've got a minute left. What's the biggest barrier to seeing this happen?
Well, I think I mentioned it is that a lot of people think it's got to come from public money. This should come from private and corporate investment. The reason that should be is because if we look, for example, at bed tax, we had $14.2 million come in terms of bed tax. If we added just 1 to 1.25 million more people, that would substantially grow. We calculated that based on revenues spent, money spent by vacationers and conventioners, that with 1 million more people, we would add $338 million more to businesses here.
George, I'm out of time, but JJ, George, I appreciate it. I know this is something a lot of people are going to be looking at. You're probably going to get some more emails from 11-year-olds who want to be part of it. Thanks for being with us this morning. And This Week in Jacksonville airs each Sunday morning this time. In the next couple of weeks, working to discuss the rollout of a health care exchange for the new Affordable Care Act. Stay with us. We appreciate you joining us this morning on This Week in Jacksonville.
Stay connected to WJXT Channel 4, 24/7 from anywhere in the world.